Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here for another Wealth Wednesday. This is, however, a very good episode. We're back with our guests after a couple weeks off. We got Sean Undeniable, and we got Justo, the CEO. My brother will join shortly, and myself, Corey Phillips, founder CEO of Social Storm LLC. Again, make sure to share this to your friends and family. We will be able to share different avenues of how to build wealth, different things that's happening in the world, and how we can all use these resources to continue to share this information to our communities. So feel free to like and subscribe and share this to your friends and family. And again, just make sure to like and subscribe and keep this going. Those that don't know, my name is Corey Phillips. I'm 22 years old, entrepreneur here from the city of Chicago, featured on Black Enterprise, Market Watch, ABC7. We're doing work teaching financial literacy, and founder CEO of Social Storm, create a network for entrepreneurs to create a network and also get a platform for them to get resources towards career exposure, financial literacy, and economic development. And we are here with another episode with my brothers, LaShawn and Justin. Justin, the CEO, give y'all introductions so we can get back started with this episode with some of these conversations.
Go ahead, Sean.
All right, what's up, y'all? It's Shauna Undeniable here. I'm a 20-year-old union electrician out of Chicago. I'm a union electrician. I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm also dabbling into real estate investing right now. So, ready to make something happen, ready to expose y'all to the skilled trades, how to turn your career into your foundation for entrepreneurship, and everything that has to do with blue collar jobs. So, what's up, y'all? Let's make it happen.
How y'all feeling today, man? It's Justin, the CEO, Justin Vincent. I'm a 22-year-old serial entrepreneur. I am the CEO and owner of Over East, my clothing brand. I also help individuals fixing their credit by removing negative items, and I also help business owners get access to funding, but also give them a plan so they can know what to do with the funding when it comes in their hands and they get access to it. Again, I'm also a motivational speaker as well, and I also help with violence prevention in the city of Chicago.
Hey, love that, love that. Yeah, that's another thing. Just continuing for us to pave the way for the next generation. Uh, we see a lot of things happening in the world, and it's just a lot of people don't see other people like us doing great things in the community, and we just know that there's just a lot of stuff going on. Just recent news, I guess the government shutdown is over. I know Justin, I saw you made a video on that earlier today. Do you have some insights on that? That I know you made a video, you said started a new video. You have any insights on that from the last couple days that led up to this decision from in terms of the markets?
Yeah, so uh, actually Monday, the Senate and Donald Trump had passed the bill for the government shutdown to end. In my video, I had explained that the House had to pass it today, in order for it to actually end. I don't know when they ended it. I was on a Bible study when they did. I had seen them posted it, but I didn't read about it yet. I'm definitely gonna try to, drop another video, trying to cover just more economics, for our community. But let's see exactly when it's gonna end. I don't know if it's ending tonight, and anything back on tomorrow. But what I researched was, um, I don't know if Trump trying to do it, a way to get the people's favor. But I know Trump pushed it more towards the government shutdown coming to an end. So we got a lot of things back. I know some people were depending on SNAP. And me, I use the government a lot, to help my clients get their credit negative items removed. So that's a good big plus. I just say now that the government is back open, I say take advantage. A lot of businesses can get grants, a lot of programs are available. I know it's gonna get slow, to get things back up and running, and they're probably gonna be bagged up. But again, this is should be a eye opener on how much the government does help. People was affected by it, but even if you wasn't affected by it, I feel like we should have took this as a sign to learn more what the government is here to help us do. It's the government; they're supposed to be helping us. We're not supposed to, what I'm saying. We pay taxes for a reason, So again, if it's to get a grant for your business, get some assistance, and your hard financial struggles, whatever it is, definitely be more educated on how the government can assist you. Again, we don't pay taxes for no reason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's something that we saw a lot of different insights on, a lot of different things going on, especially with a lot of these benefits. It's so important that people's livelihoods actually rely on a lot of these different things, and that's one reason why we need to have that correct foundation, correct financial stability, and understand how we can navigate this so that we can continue to not be in a mode of survival, but be in a mode so we're already proactive instead of reactive. I know, Sean, what do you feel like your perspective has been on this from you as a young person that's navigating this space? How do you feel like you should deal with this as someone that's young?
So this is my perspective of the government shutdown. To be honest with you, I think it kind of showed the flaw in our system. I believe firmly that complacency is the mother of all failure. And while these benefits are needed, right, I believe that now shows that what can be given can also be taken away. And I believe the analogy kind of rings true of you can give a fish to someone and they'll constantly be asking you for a fish, or you can learn how to fish yourself, right? So I feel as though now with the panic, and then you see that I feel like the government shutdown really revealed a lot of true colors. It was this lady on TikTok that I saw who was actually calling churches. Did y'all see that, Bonnie Chance?
I might have heard of it.
I ain't see it. I don't know.
So
Maybe I ain't see it though.
So she was calling some churches. She was like, she had like a baby crying in the background, and she was calling churches, asking for some baby formula. And a lot of the churches weren't providing that to her. So like it was I believe that I don't know firmly if it was a fake situation or a real situation, but the church's reactions like were real. And she was calling a lot of these like programs that are supposed to help, and no one was really trying to help her for real. I believe she got help from a mosque, if I'm not mistaken, eventually. But it goes to show that now is the time that you have to have your own foundation, right? And while you can rely on things like SNAP and other government benefits, now is the time to really try to help your foundation as well. So when something does go away, you're not solely dependent on that. So I see a lot in our community right now that if one thing goes away, your whole life is in shambles. And I believe that now more than ever, you can't put your life in the hands of something that is not meant for your all to be given to. I believe that these programs are really, really incredible. I feel like as though they help a lot of people, but I feel as now is the time that you might need to gain the extra skill. You might need to gain the extra trade. So when crap does hit the fan again, you're not wondering if you could be able to feed yourself, feed your family, and things of that nature. So I feel as though now more than ever, it is important to have that solid foundation, because with the state of our current union, the state of our current economy, as we see, life is gonna life at the end of the day. Life is gonna life. And it's at a point right now whether you go sink or you go swim. And I firmly believe that just having that solid foundation, having that financial literacy, having that literacy about credit, like you might need that might be the one thing to get you out of a pinch. Financial literacy go be something that you can fall back on. That's your foundation. Trying to find another trade or skill that you can pick up on when you get laid off right now. They laying off thousands of people by the thousands right now. People are getting laid off every single day now more than ever. The employment and unemployment rate is the exact same. Now more than ever, you need to try to focus on finding you a second, third, fourth, fifth stream of income.
Hey, I can add for my bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy, man, Sean hit it right on the head. And it's gonna be a lot of controversy, I feel like, on what Sean said, but it's the truth. You feel me? We don't need to be dependent on the government. I feel like that's for people who need it. I feel like, but and me personally, especially in the low income neighborhoods and the communities, is more of, oh, this is what we need. We're gonna depend on it. I feel like that's supposed to give you a boost. When times again hit the fan and times get rough, you're supposed to use that, for something to fall on, but you're not supposed to depend on it. Trump said it a lot, and again, I don't agree with a lot of things what Trump say, but when it comes to the economy, he has I feel like he has, done an amazing job. I wanted to add on, with this government shutdown. Trump was speaking over the weekend. I made a video on it. I'm gonna release it probably either tonight, but it's too late, probably tomorrow morning. Um, about what he said this past weekend. He actually said too that he was looking out to give another round of stimulus checks that he gave out during the pandemic. It was about $2,000, and he said he's going to give the same amount. And what's crazy is people was getting on him for the tariffs and asking why he's doing all these tariffs, but people don't understand that America's one of the number one biggest consumers. So as all these countries bringing in stuff to America to, because we giving them our money, Trump taxed them, and not only did he tax them, but that brought us out of a national debt. I don't know if we're still in it, but I know it decreased tremendously. Not only did it decrease, he said 401ks are highest than it ever has been. So that's again investing into the stock market with people with a retirement plan, who has these jobs and jobs offer that. Not only that, the stock market, been moving good. Not only that, also he said that $2,000 stimulus check that he's going to be giving out that came from the tariffs. So I feel like, for an example, the stimulus check, the SNAP benefits, and so on and so forth. All of these benefits. I don't know if y'all remember during the pandemic, it was PPP, it was unemployment. A lot of people took advantage of it, and they took those opportunities. But what do we do with it? You know what I'm saying? So again, we could get another $2,000 stimulus check, and he could do it every year, for the rest of his term. But what are we gonna do with it? What are we gonna do with the opportunities that present itself? So again, when it comes to SNAP, what are you doing? Okay, I'm making sure that the government's paying for my food. So let me put this money to the side and let me go invest or whatever the case is. I'm getting this stimulus check. All my bills are paid, but this $2,000 can help me, again, learn a new skill, get my credit fixed, invest, whatever, what I'm saying? But creating a new stream of income for yourself, creating a new skill set, and changing your life, with the opportunity that presents itself. Again, man, the government here for a reason. We're not supposed to just pay these taxes and that's it. Use the advantages that they got. And I ain't gonna lie, speaking to myself, I need to do better as that. Because as me as a business owner, they're giving out funds, for free. I know I do credit and I get funded from the banks and I leverage that. But imagine getting $100,000 grant that I don't have to pay back, and I just have to make sure that I invest into my business properly. So I just like that Sean, spoke on like, and really our communities, and I'm glad that me and Sean were the ones, and Corey too, all of us really, we're doing the one, we're making sure this information is getting out to our community so we can be more educated on it. You know what I'm saying? How to use the government? Why is the government even important? Where are our tax money going? What resources do we have, and how can we use them? Not only that, showing how much that we shouldn't be dependent on the government. You know what I'm saying? Even Trump said it, bro. Like, with low income housing. He said it was earlier, like a couple months ago. I think it was like quarter 2 or something like that, or maybe quarter 3. He was speaking on how there's going to be different qualifications for low income housing. Like you're going to be on this plan for such and such amount of days or months or something like that. And again, the government assists you with getting a job. A government will assist you with learning a new skill. And he don't want just Americans being on low income just to be on low income. And I feel like he was talking to our people because, man, in my community, that's all I hear. We all on low income, but what are we doing to get off low income? If we're getting this break from the government, what are we doing to, leverage that and take that break that we're getting from the government and taking off with it? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't get breaks. Everybody don't get just their food paid for the month. Everybody don't get their house half off rent. You get what I'm saying? So if we getting that, what are we doing wrong for us not to be, ahead in life? And I feel like it's what we're doing today is the lack of financial literacy we don't have, the lack of economic education we don't have, and I'm just glad that I'm on here with my brothers, giving out this information. And I listen to they pages, when they post, I'm liking. I don't just like just because they're my brothers and I love them. I want to support them. Like that's one of the reasons. But they be educating me sometimes, and I hope I'm doing the exact same.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this whole entire perspective is like such as we get these different checks. They talked about getting checks for inflation. And that's kind of to contribute to the rise of inflation. But if you look at terms of tariffs, the tariffs just increased and pushed the price to the consumer. And if you add tariffs, add these different checks to the economy, it just makes it causes inflation to go up because we're printing more and more money. Inflation is only good if it rises gradually, but if it rises too fast, it could be something that's detrimental towards the economy long term. Like it's only good when you own assets because that assets continue to rise, like stocks, crypto, real estate. But wages rise slowly, and the dollar loses value. Like I mentioned, this year alone, the dollar has devalued by 10% or at 10% already.
Can I add to that, Corey?
Yeah.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, low key, Justin, you just kind of gave me I wouldn't say a different perspective, but it's nice hearing how somebody else thinks. And I say that because currently the U.S. currently we're at $38 trillion in debt. $38 trillion in debt, and like every second, like I mean, we've been on this call for 15 minutes right now, and 56. Dude, every second, the United States adds $69 trillion in debt. So I kind of agree with what Corey was saying regarding if you're gonna do something, you have to do something in moderation. You have to take data points. You have to chart the data to make sure that this is something that can be sustainable long term, right? So with Trump in his first year or so in office established these tariffs, right? Well, one, you took absolutely no data to see how it would affect the economy long term. Little to no data. That should be something that's charted over 3 years, 5 years, even to see how it's going to affect the economy. And I understand what you're saying about these stimulus checks, but then look at what we're paying for the stimulus checks that we got in COVID. Like we paying for that again with the not only the rising cost of inflation, but also look at the housing market right now. Interest rates just went down. Interest rates was at 6-7% for the longest. They just dropped down to like what 5.9. So it's like, I mean, personally, I don't want another stimulus check because I know that it's gonna come out. It's coming for me one way or another. They go get that money back. And then even speaking on the tradesman union side, bro, it's like I don't necessarily feel as though Trump wants to do for the middle class as he says he wants to do for the middle class. And I say that because even look at this big, beautiful bill that he wanted to pass. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. And I'm going to be very brief with that. As a union member, we're under collective bargaining agreements. Teachers, we make up the middle class. Teachers, electricians, plumbers, any really union job you could think of, more so than likely they're under collective bargaining agreements, right? So Trump is really anti-union. So under the collective, in a little fine print on the no tax on overtime thing that he just passed, the big beautiful bill we like to call it, under a collective bargaining agreement, so essentially tradesmen, like trades and union members, it doesn't apply to you basically. And not only that, middle class, if you make statistically what the middle class makes, you're cut off to a certain amount. You're cut off at a certain amount. So it's like what he tried to, say that the no tax on overtime thing was going to be. He really tried to cater to the middle class to get the middle class vote. It's not that exactly, because the exact people who represent the middle class, mostly under those collective bargaining agreements, can't even bear the fruits of that no tax on overtime. It helps billionaires more than it helps us.
Hey, I got my bad. I could chime in. Look.
Yeah, for sure. This is a conversation, bro.
So look, just like you said, you don't think Trump helping the middle class as much. I totally agree. And I feel like this is why investing, this is why entrepreneurship, businesses should be started in our community, just like exactly what you said. He's not coming for the middle class. You get what I'm saying? And we need to take our jobs, if we have jobs, as seriously as where's this job gonna take me? Like, I'm proud of you, bro, because you take your job and you're not just looking at it, oh, it's just a job. And it's sad to say, but I feel like a job sets you up for failure if you're not trying to build off that job. If you just sit in there, of course you're gonna get hit. The middle classes always get hit the worst because like they always degrade. The poor, they poor. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, like we got to be real with it. The poverty is the poverty level. I'm not gonna say it ain't no rock bottom. You can hit more after that, but the middle class gets hit worse. because I feel like that's where that American dream is being sold at.
Of
Get this,
course.
get this job. Matter of fact, forget that. Go to college right after. And I don't condemn nobody, of going to college, but I'm just being real. Go to college, get in debt. But let's forget the debt. Let's just say you had a scholarship. Go to college, get this job. All right, cool. As soon as you're done with college, you're gonna have to go get a house or an apartment. Not only that, you need to go get to that job that you got from that degree. Again, let's not talk about you being in debt from college. But let's just say, okay, you go get that degree. Now you have to go have transportation to get back and forth from that job. You have to pay
Exactly.
for insurance. You want to start a family at some point, right? You got kids, you got a wife, you got whatever, and then you want to start you obviously want to become a homeowner. That's the American dream. Starting a family and owning a home and making, a decent amount of money, with the job that you got from college. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think if you think that's where it's gonna be, again, like Sean just explained, how the middle class is gonna always get hit. Again, I look at Trump a little differently when it comes to economics because I'm an entrepreneur, and what he doing is, I don't lie, it's a lot of money to be made if you're an entrepreneur. Unfortunately, people I know, my parents, they're in the middle class. You know what I'm saying? I'm escaping the middle class because I built off a job. You know what I'm saying? But our parents and the generations that came before us, that's what they was taught. They was only taught the American dream. They was only taught get the job and and endure. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, wait till you retire to get access to your 401ks. People dying who not getting access to that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to highlight how much it is important on what you're speaking on with the middle class being affected. Like, okay, we're gonna talk about the middle class. All right, we can't just talk about, okay, dang, Trump doing this, but Trump helping people become more richer if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to become an investor or a business owner. And I feel like that's why we do what we do here, to educate. Hey, here's another route. Now, again, this route is not for everybody, unfortunately, but we're making it we're making it known that this route is available. We're making it known that this route is possible for you to follow. Because again, the rich are gonna become richer and the poor are gonna become poor. It's unfortunately it's just a truth that we have to, you know, um, except becoming rich is hard, becoming poor is hard. So which one are we gonna choose? Is we gonna continue to say, oh, they're not playing fair, or we're gonna learn their game and then play it with them? You know what I'm saying? So I
I
just think,
agree.
for making this, because of that, we're learning the game. Like me and Corey and you, we're all still learning the game. You know what I'm saying? But we're not only trying to learn the game and use it. We're also trying to push it out, so everyone else who wants to take on this hard role, of becoming rich, can follow it as well.
Yeah, I think it's just like I said, it's important to understand that the American system was built for business owners over individuals, written within the tax code, within home ownership, and the education system. Education system doesn't want you to be financially free; it wants you to be employees for life. That's why you look at the people that built up the ecosystem of this country. That's why they don't teach financial literacy in school, because they want people to be able to work for a job for life and not be able to just not be able to be truly free. So understanding that there's different things that's happening, but how can we navigate so that we can make sure that we take care of our families? How can we invest in different companies? How can we make sure that we're not overspending? How can we make sure that we stick together? Because the government is not going to save us. We have to be able to save ourselves. And that's the biggest thing that we see. We see them building a $400 billion ballroom in the White House while you have SNAP benefits. That says it within itself. It doesn't matter which political party you're on. You understand that this American dream of things that we see the middle class is slowly dwindling away. It's a tale of two economies. The people who are living at the top 1% are owning about 90% of the country's wealth, and while the rest of the country in the middle and lower class are living in higher interest rates, higher prices of goods, higher price of consumers, and just continue to have more debt. We have more we have more spending on the military than every other country, the last top five combined. And we have people out here living in conditions like this. So we have to understand it's all about perspective. But we can't try to play. We can't try to play the game. We can't try to win the game if we don't know the rules of the game.
And that's the problem, bro. Like, even what you saying. So, Justin, you brought up the point about how he's changing low income housing. You feel me?
Yeah.
2 years, right? So, and this is why I say he does these things with haste, because there's no way that, okay, like you just said, he's gonna try to like find the low income. But the thing is, only thing you're doing is you're not even helping the lower class more so than you're helping like the economy and the money aspect of it, right? And I say that because before you try to help get people out of these low income housing, you have to educate them first to get them out of a low income mindset first and foremost. The people that he's trying to kick out of low income housing are so far in that mindset that they're gonna do nothing but become consumers once you get them out of that mindset, or even once you get them a high paying job. That's only gonna rise inflation up more. You're not teaching, like, this is, in my opinion, before you try to take people out of anything or try to fix that, you have to fix the source, right? You have to fix the mindset. And the only way to fix that mindset is to implement more exposure. Is to implement more like you just said, the education system is messed up. You have to implement more exposure to financial literacy, implement more exposure to entrepreneurship, implement more exposure to things like that. While these kids are in school, you gotta catch it at the root. Because now you go tell a mother of 4 kids who've been on low income housing for 8 years that now she got 2 more years and she doesn't know anything about finance. How is that fair? How is that right? So before you do anything, you got to set a person up for success in their mind. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the last thing.
Um, I like what you said. It start with the root. It start in school. And I like the example that you said because it gave me a different perspective. With okay, we got a mother of 4 here, who was brought up in that generation that was just told to go work, and she been on low income for 8 years. Um, I just feel like this, right, with him changing this. I feel like it's either gonna make us or break us, and I want it to make us. I don't want, again, like, of course we need to change the what we're being learned in middle school and high school, most importantly, because that's when I feel like we should be taught different things instead of a squared plus b squared equals c squared, goofy stuff like that. I feel like we should be being taught financial literacy, the stock market, investing, how does real estate work, the laws, you know what I'm saying? So those things. Now what I would say, and this is just personally me, um and I say that I feel like I have the right to say this, and I feel like all y'all have the right to say this because we are doing our part within our communities to making sure that we are educating them. Now, look, if you was to told, Sean, like, be honest, if you was told that you're getting off low income house in 2 years, you had 2 kids, it's either gonna make you or break you. We need to, I feel like that, I ain't gonna say that's an excuse, but I feel like that should be some fire under you so you can make the best out your situation. We have social media now. Our parents didn't have this. We can go on here and explain everything. I can go on here and you can go on my page and almost learn every single thing about credit. You could join my Discord. You have this. We made events. And being honest, this is just the beginning of our journey. It's more people, on social media, on YouTube, free information that we just haven't grasped to. And being honest, what changed my life was some fire under me. It didn't just change my life because I was comfortable. I feel like this uncomfortability that Trump is doing, again, it's not right. I'm not saying it's right, but are we just gonna sit here and say, "Hey, Trump, do this," when he don't care about us and he know he's not gonna listen, or is we gonna stand up and take advantage of what resources we have access to? Again, we have social media, we have YouTube, we have all these things that's gonna teach us free at first, free information that gets you introduced into whatever lane of finances you want to get into. We have remote jobs now. We have AI now. I know people who make money off AI, more money than I make off AI. You get what I'm saying? Off something that just got created. I know people who make in trading, bro. Two buttons are clicked in that day, and they already made $1,000 before 12 p.m. and the market.
I've seen it, brother. I feel you. I definitely feel you.
So it's like when we have these opportunities, I understand, bro. Like, and I feel the exact same way. But this is my community. What? Being honest, we ain't the president. What is we gonna do? I can't sit here and keep telling them, oh dang, Trump is doing us bogus. When I'm finna be speaking, when I speak and
Provide that exposure.
when I'm finna be speaking is okay. What is we finna do about this? How is I'm finna educate the community on this? Because we have the resources. And I said this last time while we was on it. Ain't no more excuses. If you follow us, if you on Instagram, you don't have no more excuses. If you follow me, Corey, or you, or anybody else, within our little community who's doing this, and I'm just speaking to Chicago people only, you don't have no excuse no more. How? How do you have an excuse? Me and Corey ain't Hollywood. You not Hollywood. People come through our DM. We love to collab. We're doing free events, speaking, connecting. We in rooms. Corey was just with John Hope Bryan, right? Bro is a whole I knew a little bit about him, but bro is a whole I don't even know if he's a billionaire yet, but I know he's a multi-millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So we in them rooms, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're walking in these rooms and we're making the connections for our community. So yes, it's very harsh, to talk about, and it's bogus, but I feel like I ain't gonna lie, I feel like we've been crying enough. It's time to put our foot down and put foot on land and get to working, get to educating, getting the skills. Like, bro, you doing it. You telling people you 20, right, blood? You
Yeah.
tell you telling people about how not only to get into a trade, but also what to do after you get that trade. I'm not only telling people fix their credit, because this what you was speaking on that I like, when you was like, don't just tell them, put them on this, you have to change their mind. We on here not even just giving out, okay, I'm gonna just fix your credit. I'm gonna give you a plan and do this and this and that. You're not telling people just go get a trade. You look, this is what I'm doing with my trade money that I'm making as being an electrician. They're not telling you just, okay, cool, whatever you doing, whether you came from me, whether you came from Bashan, hey, look, the stock market, this is an amazing place where you can make some money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is. It's just a switch hit that's like, I don't know, it's like you woke now, and you understand that, yeah, they've been playing this game for the longest. But now that I feel like all three of us understand this game, I feel like it's time to help. And I feel like you can't even say what I say if you ain't doing nothing to get back to the community and speaking on it. Because in all honesty, we could all be off social media and just be making money by what we doing.
You ain't lying, brother. I hear you.
Oh, bro, I don't get paid off posting on social media.
What's
Not
up?
yet. I even try.
Not check, my brother. We don't get paid yet. It's coming
You
real
know what
soon.
I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? We did these interviews, these events, and didn't get paid off them. You get what I'm saying? Yet, so I feel like we have every right to be speaking the way we want to speak with helping the community.
Yeah, that's true. We all, hey, and you know what? It is one thing for a person to just, have their opinion and then go back to their own lives, right? But we have our opinions and we boots on the ground with it. You feel me? So I understand what you're saying, that we are coming from that place of like us actually doing something to try to help while also still having our own opinion versus just being the people like, oh dang, that's messed up. And now you ain't saying nothing. And now you ain't trying to do nothing else, right? So I do feel like it is that fine line with what you're saying, and I do wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. That hey, I feel like me and you are saying the same thing. Now is the time, as you see, the odds are gonna be stacked against you. Whether you are that single mother with 4 kids or whether you are that single 20-year-old with a dream, you feel me? It's like the odds will be stacked against you, whoever you are. Whether you got kids, no kid, it might be harder for you, might be easier for you. You feel me? You might be like me, no kids, like no kids, or you might have a multitude, right? But at the end of the day, you still got to get it. And that's why we have to provide that exposure. Because as much as we do want things to change, as much as we would, like, hey, as much as we could, do wish we could run the country and try to help our community more, at the end of the day, we can only do what we can do, right? So what we can do, like you say, Justin, is prepare them for the absolute best and worst case scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just very important just to look at it from perspective. You don't have to. Nobody has to like Trump. Like, you can like him or you can't like him. But the main thing is understanding how we can navigate this in order for us to build wealth and take care of our families. Like, for me, that's what I look at these different companies. Like, look at which companies are aligning themselves with the White House. Look at which companies are aligning themselves with the president. they are literally the top 7 companies of the United States are holding about 40% of the S&P 500 weight. Look at the companies like NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a $5 trillion company. They produce all of the chips for every single large language model in the world. They're the most valuable company. And the reason these stock prices are inflating so high is because of the CapEx spending on AI ecosystem, AI data centers. Because AI data centers is what makes these large language models think. That's like the brain for them. That's like the brain for these large language models. And the more GPUs that they buy for NVIDIA is the more that they can build up these different data centers. And these large language models can't function if there's not enough data centers for them to be able to continue to grow. And you look at which companies, and NVIDIA is providing the chips. You look at OpenAI, they're building up these data centers.
Hey, Corey, my bad, real quick. Now that I just got a question, because you more, on it with the stocks. How do you, my bad to interrupt, and if you could answer this real quick and briefly, NVIDIA versus AMD, I ain't gonna say what's the difference, because I know the difference, but what you know how you just said NVIDIA is doing all this with the chips and everything. What is AMD providing, and why are they are a good company, or why they a bad company?
So we look at these different companies. They both produce GPU chips. NVIDIA is the Michael Jordan, and AMD is LeBron. Nah, it's not even LeBron, because NVIDIA has 90% market share, and AMD has less than 5%. They are like the Walmart version of the GPU chips. Like NVIDIA is providing all the chips. They're very expensive, and they're sold out for the Blackwell GPUs. And AMD is another American company that they need in order for them to operate and sell the chips on a cheaper level for other businesses to buy that can't afford NVIDIA's chips when they're sold out. But they're strategically partnered with the U.S. government, AMD and NVIDIA, also have a stake in Intel to kind of propel that we can make sure that we have more than one option. Because as a business perspective, you don't want to just have all your eggs in one basket. You want to have multiple producers. If NVIDIA's chips go down or there's not enough demand, you want to make sure you have enough from AMD. But it's actually kind of interesting how AMD CEO is actually cousins with NVIDIA's CEO. And you see, which we look at the whole entire build out of this information. We look at NVIDIA, and I was mentioning this earlier. The reason their prices are inflating so high is because of the build out of these AI data centers. We have yet to see if these returns on investments will pay off in order to offset the purpose of these prices going up. So that's why I see the CapEx spending, Meta, Facebook, Apple, Google, Amazon. They're building all these data centers, and these stock prices are going up tremendously because they're betting for these companies to make tremendous amounts of revenue based off the investment of these AI data centers. But understand that no matter how many chips that we buy, the United States doesn't have enough infrastructure, enough energy to power these data centers. So we need tremendous amounts of energy for us to even make these things to continue to work. When we talk about AI bubble, things like that, the difference between now and the difference between the 90s is that back in the 90s, you had a bunch of companies that just put internet on the company, but they weren't actually producing any sort of revenue or things like that. A lot of these companies are making tremendous amounts of revenue. Like NVIDIA is growing literally every single quarter. They're growing at a tremendous rate that's never been seen before, and that stock price is going up because of that. Now, people talking about quantum stocks that are going up tremendously all-time highs, but are going to be negative revenue for the next 3-5 years. That's all speculation. But understanding that it's good to hold investments for long periods of time. And NVIDIA stock was $120 a share a couple of years ago before stock split. That $120 would have been over $1,500 just by investing in one share of NVIDIA. And then you see the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin went down to 100,000 a couple of days ago. For everyone else trying to buy it at 125,000, buy it when there's a discount. When you see gold, buy gold and hold it for long periods of time. Gold is up 50% this year alone. Everyone here is trying to get rich quick. Use that $2,000 to invest. Start your investment account. Use that $2,000 to invest in yourself. Because at the end of the day, this artificial intelligence will create more millionaires in the next 5 years than the internet did in 20. And we are just in the early build-out phase of this ecosystem. You have to learn this information. If you're someone that's against, if you're not learning artificial intelligence, you'll get replaced by someone that will. People who are going to succeed in this new era of AI are people who have specialized skills, people that understand how to use these large language models, and people who are able to make communities. If you don't have one of those three, you will get left behind. There's no ifs and buts about it. Amazon's laying off 20,000 people a couple weeks ago. And look at the companies, it's already mostly robots. We have to be able to learn how to use AI. We have to learn how to investing is not an option. If you don't invest now, you will see how things will be in 5 years. When we have artificial AI robots doing the same things that we do. But the biggest thing is just preparing, collaborate. The United States government is not going to save us. The more we can collaborate, the more that we can work together and invest our money into our community, invest in our families, we can truly change our communities. I listened to John Hope Bryant, tremendous impact. I love his podcast. I had an interview with him the other day, talking about how.
No, say that again, bro. I ain't hear you. Say that again, bro.
I had an interview with John Hope Bryant. That video had over 100.
Come on, now.
On Instagram.
Go, Corey Phillips. Let's get it, boy.
I truly love his interviews. I love his work that he's done. It's inspired me. Had an interview like we talked about a lot of people. If you give homeless, you give a homeless man $1 million, or somebody wins the lottery, most of them will be broke in 5 years. If you're someone that's a multi-billionaire, they give them money or they have money and they give it all away, they'll make it back. You've seen this with many billionaires. You've seen it with Donald Trump. You've seen it with many other billionaires that have lost money. If you don't have the capacity to build wealth, you can never truly make it. It's harder to become the person to make $1 billion than it is to build the business that makes $1 billion. Your business can only grow as big as you. If you're not able to grow personally, which in your capacity, then it doesn't matter how many businesses you start if you don't have the capacity. It's not about the other things. It's about how it starts with you and how you're going to translate to others. So that's the biggest thing. If you have to build your capacity on how we can share this information and then move that towards the future. So it's a lot of stuff going on, but this is something that we can't take the back seat. If you don't have ChatGPT on your phone, you're not going to be able to keep up with this new era because there's trillions of dollars. Y'all saw the AI robot that came out like a couple weeks ago, $20,000. That's gonna do your dishes. Y'all see them AI Tesla robots? What these vehicles? All these vehicles that are autonomous.
Would you get a Tesla robot?
Yes.
In your crib?
You know he'll get one, bro.
So I'm gonna give me a Tesla because here's the thing. Y'all hating on Tesla. Look, Elon Musk is one of the greatest entrepreneurs of this generation. Regardless of what he said a lot of stuff, but from his businesses himself, it's just a different level. Tesla's not a car company; they're a technology company.
Yeah,
they're not betting on selling more vehicles; they're betting on autonomous vehicles and autonomous robotics. SpaceX is not just a regular space company. They're a company that can be able to reutilize rockets that send to outer space and reuse them up to 20 different times. Just off one rocket. That's a whole new $1 trillion. That's a whole different area. People don't know that Elon Musk was one of the founders of OpenAI. Elon Musk has his own XAI. All these different things, he's setting himself up to build the ecosystem for him to be successful in the next 10 years. And people look at his $1 trillion pay package. He can't reach that $1 trillion pay package unless Tesla reaches an $8 trillion market cap. They're just under 1 trillion. I think they're around $1 trillion right now. They have to 8x as far as their company hits certain marks for him to get that $1 trillion pay package. And understanding that it's a leverage point. If he were to leave Tesla wouldn't be the same because of how much people believe in him as a CEO. I'm getting me that Tesla robot.
What you gonna use it for?
I'm having the robots in 5 years. The world we see in 5 years will be completely different.
No, I'm saying, so I'm saying, what you gonna get the robot for?
I'm gonna have. I said I'm not doing anything like dishes or clothes, fold my clothes, whatever. I'm gonna have it do that type of stuff.
Hey, Corey, you finna get you one of them little maids, ain't you? You got a little robot maid.
Look, yeah, I'm gonna be able to use AI to be able to help me think. For me to be able to automate some of my processes. Like, look at how we look AI. Like, the thing is, AI has helped me so much. Since it came out in 2022, it's changed my life. Like,
Man, you said dishes, bro. You can't go get. You don't want to do no dishes, bro. You said
They don't
dishes.
want no clothes, nothing.
you save time.
He said straight chores, bro.
Hey,
I ain't-
Corey, would you get an AI girlfriend?
No, I would
Sean,
never do that. No,
would you, Sean?
Bro, come on, you know him, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, now I was just asking the question.
No,
No.
I would not. I love
Corey, Corey said it's the future.
that ain't my future.
no. So it's a robot. I know the difference between my mind and I know the difference between a robot. And my mind is.
I'm just trolling.
Y'all putting that Neuralink in your brain?
No, boy, you ain't touching mine. No, I love the Matrix, bro, but that movie scared me, bro. Like,
Hey, do y'all know downtown Chicago and Whole Foods, you could pay with your palm? I don't know how you get started on it, but
you my what?
You could pay with your palm. I don't know how
Bro,
to do it.
I'm not with bro. Look, I'm not with none of that. Look, no, I'm gonna be the one that survived, bro. Like, it's gonna be one of them days, bro. It's gonna be like 8% of the world's population just to wake up tweaking. No, I'm not gonna be one of them. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not getting no. I love my flesh, and you know what I'm saying. Like, I love my actual girlfriend. I ain't getting no AI one. I'm good. Justin, you would get an AI girlfriend?
No.
Cameras, no.
Justin, you get you a Justina?
Nah. You a troll, bro.
That's crazy. What? Nah,
I can't even be mad because I was just trolling.
No. The thing is, that's the crazy thing is though. Like AI is you can't even tell what some people can't actually tell what's the difference between what's real and what's fake online. Like you see those the new Sora videos. Like when these kind of MLK videos, like some of the stuff look real, but a lot of people don't actually know the difference between what's real and what's not. And the difference
is scam, boy.
Right. In this new age of AI, is we're gonna get to the point where the biggest thing is having the ability to be conscious and your ability to think and your ability to reason. And that's something that a lot of people are losing with artificial intelligence. We're just searching everything up, chat GPT. But the biggest thing is you understand that your biggest asset is your ability right here. That you don't need AI to be smart. AI is only supposed to amplify who you are, a bigger version of you. It's not meant to replace you. They can't reason like you. You have your own authentic voice. You have your own authentic message, your own authentic thoughts. And in this age of automation, continue to live that way. Continue to be creative. Continue to be human. Continue to do those things that's going to position yourself, regardless of where this thing's going to go. But continue to learn this information. That's the thing. I can't harp on this enough. This is something that we have to pave the way over the next 5 to 10 years. So that's my biggest thing.
Corey, I know you said you want to talk about those 50-year mortgages, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mortgage win.
So
bro, you ain't see he talking about he want to do a 50. Man, look, this man just be saying stuff, bro.
Yep, I want a 50-year mortgage.
It's bro, hold on. Let's be realistic about a 50-year mortgage, bro.
But I want to. Oh wait, hold on. You have to. I ain't gonna lie. You have to understand this economy first and foremost. Look, I'm gonna get my go on a 50-year mortgage. Then you get your go. First off, this is not gonna be my only mortgage. This is not gonna be like my house. I will not pick no 50-year mortgage. But what I will, but you know what I'm saying. But I would give me a 50-year mortgage because of how the economy works. Like this, like, so look, just hear me out. If you get a 50-year mortgage, what does that mean? That means your monthly payments are going to be way lower. Again, what is the difference from owning and financing? You tell me the difference. The difference is you just own it. I got the house, you got the house. You know what I'm saying? The difference between me and you is you're gonna pay off your house just earlier, but you're gonna be giving more money each and every single month. We're gonna live in the same exact house. Feel me? I'm just gonna take longer to pay off mine. I still got the house, you still got the house, but you paying more monthly out of month.
So I'm not against the 50. So look, I'm not necessarily against in my lifetime. I'm not against the 50-year mortgage. Like in my lifetime, if you do it 50, I'm cool. I'm 20 right now. I get that 7. Like I'm cool with that, right? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. My bad to cut you off, but then especially if you ain't got no penalties paying it off early. I get it. Is
No,
this,
that's true.
hey, before we keep going, y'all get my hopes up. This real?
Yeah, I mean, he's just talking about it right now, but it's something he said he want to do. But okay, this is my thing. In theory, like you just made some amazing points. I didn't thought, bro, everything you said, I already didn't rationalize. I'm like, okay, bet. My one problem with it though is not for us, future generations. So you have to look at what age people are buying houses right now. Currently, people are buying houses in their 40s, right? Their 30s, right? Let's look at first off, Social Security. They talking about Social Security running out. Right? That's 30, 40 years from now, right? Okay, you do a 50-year mortgage. A lot of these people that will be buying the houses right now with a 50-year mortgage, okay, it's cool right now, but eventually you're going to get older. So with a lot of that's how the first '08 crash happened because people were defaulting on their mortgages. So okay, you might refinance a few times, but eventually, I personally, this is my belief. I believe that it will catch up to you eventually with more defaults on the mortgage 40 something years from now when people ain't working no more. Like you got to think about it. If you get that 40 years old right now, you will be a 90-year-old paying a mortgage, and Social Security then ran out, and inflation then went up, huh?
I feel you, but we was talking about us.
No, I know. That's why I said.
Let me stop. We 20 though.
But that's what I said. Like it's good for us. Like, bro,
Yeah. And long term, I agree. A long term for generations, that's not something I
like for
would.
generations, it will crumple the economy. But for us right now, of course I get a 50, bro. Bro, I'm trying to get a full flat, right, bro. I'm trying to get a full flat right now. If I can get a 50-year mortgage on a $300,000 home, 400,000, bro.
And you rent it out. Imagine how much money you could be bringing in a month.
Exactly. But you know what? Not everybody has that same entrepreneurial. You need a certain type of mindset to be able to shepherd that properly, though.
Right.
You need
That's
a certain
like saying, my bad. That's like saying I get a $500,000 loan, and I ain't gonna go that far. I get 200,000 and 50 years. 50 years, bro. Do you know what I could do with? And again, it's about your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Um, Imagine what you could do with two. I believe all three of us, $200,000, and you give me 50 years, $200,000. I think I could flip that to $1 million within a year if you want to be honest.
bro. But
Let me pull up these calculations though. Let me pull this calculation. So let's say somebody was getting a 30-year mortgage. That's 2,500. 30 years, total paid over 30 years to be 910. They paid a total interest of 510,000. So you borrowed 400K, you have to pay 910K total. If you had the 50-year mortgage, your monthly payment 2,200, paid over 50 years, 1.3 million, total interest paid 931,000. So you borrowed 400K, but you paid 1.3 million total. So like we look at this, you look at the loan amount. You're paying tremendous amounts on your loan, on interest, on a 50-year period. So you're paying a tremendous amount of money that you traditionally don't do. Like of course we talk about ownership, but here's another conversation. We talk about ownership in the community. If you pay too much for your house and you buy too big of a house, your home is a liability at that point.
and too many liabilities, the economy will bro. And this happened in '08, bro. We done seen this happen already.
We're moving an unsustainable rate of debt, borrowing, consumer debt, college debt. all types of debt. We're spending money that we can't pay back. And
Bro, he's saying a lot of things that sound real good, bro. This man is saying a lot of things that sound amazing. And you're right, it might help the younger people, bro. But you got to think about it, bro. If I'm 40, bro, 30 years old, and I get one of those 50-year mortgages, I have to be 80 years old paying that off. And then, as Corey said, think about how much that's going to eat away at my lifetime income. I wouldn't be able to put this much in my retirement account, my pension, my 401k, bro. It would just affect too much stuff, bro. And then I understand what you're saying regarding, like, yeah, you would be able to pay it off quicker and things like that, bro. But my whole thing is, bro, I think that personally, it works for younger people and it won't work for like older people as much, you know. And then you got to think about who's really able to buy a house right now. Again, the employment and unemployment rate is the exact same currently. With these layoffs in the state and the increasing instability of our economy, a 50-year mortgage will not be sustainable because that leaves not only 20 years of interest being paid, right? But it also leaves 20 years of those variables not really adding up, especially with Social Security going back down, and inflation going up, and income and job placements going down. And then with AI about to take so many of these jobs, bro. I mean, will it work for somebody like me in an AI resistant job, 20 years old? Yeah, but
most people.
I think it will only work if you strategic with it. Not only if you're strategic with it, but if you can afford it. That's how I believe. I don't think like I wouldn't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I was trolling, but I would if the things made sense. You get what I'm saying? Now I would do it like, but first I would have my own property. I would be set financially, and then I would take advantage of that low monthly rate, and I'll make something work with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that just how I would do it. And yeah, but I would definitely be overly financially stable. I will also have my own property, so this wouldn't be no property that I'm living in. This is a property that I'm trying to leverage, basically leveraging the debt. I feel like it will only work if you leverage the debt. If you don't leverage the debt, it will not work. And that's the thing, like everyone said, um, if we are getting in debt, let's at least have a financial crisis trying to leverage the debt. That's how I feel like, because you're gonna learn along the way. You feel me? You're not only gonna learn along the way, you're gonna meet a lot of people along the way. You get what I'm saying? Instead of you just having a house that you know you probably couldn't afford, or you was just working so hard to afford. Now 2 years later, AI came out and your job at risk, but you just been so loyal to this job and haven't had no plans. But you got this house and you just been so dependent on this job. Now your job gonna go in the next 3 months,
you
and you
pop.
you gone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with any debt, we gotta leverage it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like college student, you gonna go to college and you in debt, you better get that degree, bro, and make it useful. Cause you in debt. You gotta make some money off this. You feel me? So
For real.
I feel
And
y'all. I don't think it's smart, especially like the people who don't have the mindset that we have. And again, that's not. I'm not even financially stable to go get that type of loan, and I wouldn't. That's especially if I'm even if I am trying to leverage it. It ain't smart. But I believe somebody like Trump, who got connections and know everything, I bet he'll know exactly what to do with that type of loan, with that type of monthly rate.
you ain't lying. I mean, yeah, bro. You ain't lying, bro. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with that, bro. Like, but I'm even thinking about what you can do now, bro. You can 1099 exchange, bro. You could sell 4 properties, do it in a 1099 exchange, pay no capital gain taxes, and buy a bigger property with those profits. Man, it's like it's so many loopholes now that we gotta, bro. Us as a people, it's so many loopholes now that we don't even exploit. And now you want to add something else to the game? Just hold on, let us catch up first.
And bro,
Yeah, it's so important just to understand how to navigate this. What I was going to say, it's so important that we understand just these different policies. Like these policies, they're not making these policies to make us better, our lives easier. Like people understand that. Like first of all, these policies are not to make our life easier; it's to make them top 1% of this country wealthy. And understanding that we just have to be able to just be open to how we can shift our mindset on things. Like really, it's all a distraction from the bigger picture of itself. If we are not even investing, there's no point even talking about having multi-million-dollar businesses, if we don't have home ownership, if we don't have money in the markets, if we don't have 6 months of expenses, if we don't have a credit card, if our credit score is in the 500s in the average in the black communities in the 500s, if we moved our average credit score to 700, we'd have over almost $1 trillion in capital. Not even talking about DEI. We're the sixth benefit for African American for diversity, equity, inclusion. That's a whole conversation in itself. But focusing on the things like financial literacy is just important. It's something that we have to understand how to use our credit, how to recirculate dollars, and really just having a mindset of what we truly think of what abundance really is. And it starts with that at home. It starts with the family. It starts with our mindset. It starts with how we prepare our kids. You don't go to school just to go and get good grades. You use school to how to network and build platforms and build skill sets. And job security is a thing of the past for our generation. You're not going to be working for a job. There's no social security for us to back on. There is no government that's going to help us with these different benefits. You have to invest because you're not going to do it for you. And we're going to outlive way longer than our parents and grandparents due to all this technology. So we need to make sure we have money that outlives us past our retirement. So this is something that we continue to do. But overall, what do you feel like, my last question, I was getting late, what do you all feel like is some actionable steps that you all that other people, young people that can leverage, that they just don't know what to do, and specifically might be in credit or might be inside career exposure or me with investing, they can do once they get off this call to make the life, change your life?
I'd love to take this one first, if you don't mind, because I was actually thinking about this question first and foremost, before you even said it. So the first thing that everyone on this call can do, every single young person can do, is you can go on Fidelity right now, right this second. You got a phone, you got a smartphone. Go on Fidelity right now and open up you a Roth IRA account. Why? Because a Roth IRA account, you could put $7,000 into it. Every single year you put $7,000 into it, and don't forget to invest that $7,000 into whatever single mutual fund or things like that you see. Right, you have to do your own due diligence. Some I recommend is VTI. Vanguard is good. Corey, what's another one? QQQ, right?
Yeah. So if someone's looking for different concentrations, look for QQQ is for technology. If you're looking for growth, like the S&P 500, VOOVTI. If you're looking for dividends, SCHD. And if you're looking for different ones, they have different Bitcoin ETFs, things like that. But you really want to get into the S&P 500 diversified first, exposure to tech, especially if you're younger, and then some dividends, SCHD, or some good indexes.
Yeah, so that Roth IRA, you can do that right now. Again, you put 7,000 into it. I'm 20 years old, bro. I'm maxing out my Roth every single year. I'm going to be maxing out my Roth. I'm not even mentioning the union benefits. I'm not mentioning the pensions and all the other retirements. I just off that one retirement account, me maxing it out every single year. By the time I am 60 years old, hopefully I still got this nice pretty face I got now. I'm gonna be a millionaire regardless. Literally, and that's doing absolutely nothing but investing into my Roth IRA account, because again, I don't want to rely. Me personally, I don't like relying on people. I'm very look. If I can do it, I want to make sure that I'm straight before I rely on somebody else. And that's the government. That's anything, right? So I'm opening up my own Roth IRA account. Why? Because that 401k they might lay you off tomorrow. Your Roth IRA is yours. Your Roth IRA is attached to your Social Security. That's yours. No one else can take that from you unless you get scammed. But that's another story. Like, no one else can take that from you unless you get scammed, and you get scammed by what those AI girlfriends you said. Don't get scammed by no AI girlfriend. Get your retirement account took, y'all. But yeah, man, open up a retirement account and just other things that you can do. Again, I believe that getting the AI resistant job is one of the most important things that you can do. My surrogate auntie Keisha L. Blair, she's an electrician as well. I see her in in this discussion. She's an electrician as well, and she talks about the skilled trades as well. I believe that the skilled trades right now are currently one of the absolute best things you can do because it is AI resistant. We need 80,000 electricians every single year. We need 500,000 tradesmen, skilled tradesmen, tradespeople, tradeswomen. We need 500,000 every single year. And remember, the unions are the absolute best. They are the absolutely only thing right now that keeps up with inflation. Right now, I'm an electrician in Chicago. I'm going to be topping out making $57.75 an hour. That's right now. We get I get pay raises every 6 months. You get 3 or 4 pensions. You get health benefits. You get everything under the sun, right? And that's just in Chicago, right? There's a union in every single state for electricians, plumbers, welders, pipe fitters. What else? What else we got? HVAC, right? So I see getting one of those trades right now is one of the most important things you can do to have an AI resistant job. So that's it.
Uh, First and foremost, I would say, like we talked, you have to change your mindset. Your mindset has to change. I feel like even if you were able to put that money in a investing account, or you were to learn the trade, it's about what are you going to do with that money when you start making that. Because yes, Sean could teach you how to get in there and navigate through it and everything like that. But what are you going to do with the money when you get it? So I would say first and foremost, your mindset has to change. How do you look at people? How do you look at money? How do you look at the world? And the economy and how it works. What do you want out of life so you know where you're going? And that's something that you gotta just stay focused on life, but most importantly, get right with God with, and understand your purpose and why you're here. After that, now that your mindset made up, I would personally say get your credit right. You're gonna always need it. You're gonna always need it when it comes to investing. You're gonna always need it when it comes to getting a crib, when it comes to getting a car. No matter what, you're gonna need your credit right. Me personally, I leverage my debt. So I use credit in order for me to invest. So whether that's me investing, into properties, if that's me investing into businesses, that's what I do. And I highly encourage. I ain't gonna say everyone to do it. It ain't for everyone, but I highly encourage the people to do that because you have an opportunity. Now, me, I feel like if your mindset is not changed, that means you're not ready for it. You're probably scared of getting access to so much amount of money, and it's like, okay, what do I do with it? How do I move with this? How do I, what am I going to spend it on? And that's why your mindset has to change. I look at it as an opportunity, to grow, to make more money off money that didn't come out of my pockets. So again, here at Credit College, we help people not only get access to them funds, we help people, wherever they at in their credit journey to be in a position to get access to the funds, help them get access to the funds, but also create a plan, a structured plan, for them to succeed. So I would say that, man, focus on your credit. Try to get in a position to get business funding if that's what you want to do. Again, that's not for everybody, but even if you're going to just be an individual, get your credit right. So when you are having a AI proof job and you can afford something, they're not gonna always just approve you just because they see you have a reliable source of income. They want to see if you are reliable to loan to. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all don't want to just pay cash out $100,000 to $200,000 on a house, or $20,000 to $50,000 on a brand new car. You get what I'm saying? You can afford those monthly payments, but you want to make sure your credit is intact so you can be able to get loan too. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, individual, business owner, entrepreneur, investor, credit is going to be the way to go to start off and give you a foundation to reach your next goal. So I say again, lock in with God so you can know your purpose, you can know why you're here, you can know where you're going, why you want to go that way, and everything like that, and you can truly be ordained for greater things. And then lock in on your credit.
Absolutely. Having that correct foundation is the biggest thing. But just realizing how you just review how you view that perspective of what true wealth is. It's what's the difference between rich and the difference between wealthy. Rich is just having a lot of money, but if you don't have the mindset, you won't be able to keep it. No matter how much money you make, whether you're 6 figures, 7 figures. Most people that make over 6 figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. So it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of money. There's something of how you view it and utilizing it as a tool. It's nothing more than a tool. Making more money makes you a bigger version of who you are. So just utilize it. Just know what true purpose that life really want for yourself, and then just make actionable steps in your life. Like that's cutting back on what you don't need, or finding a way to make more money. And you see a lot of these happen. It's a psychological thing. How you save, how you budget, how you spend it, how you feel about it, how you use it. These different avenues is more powerful than just spend it on nice things, but it just gives you more things to give you, so you can be able to live life on your terms. So I know that'll conclude majority of today's call. No, we're gonna be back with this next week. Y'all have anything else, or where y'all find y'all, that Freddie can find y'all in the week? Anything y'all have coming up before we end this call?
Again, man, it's Justo the CEO. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. You know, Justo the CEO. Again, I help y'all with y'all credit, no matter where y'all at in y'all credit journey. Also, I do Bible study 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every single day, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. You know, to get in the Word and just create a safe space. You know, for young adults like us, really anybody. You know, to come and feel comfortable. You know, locking in with the Word of God. Really, that's it, bro.
Y'all can find me on Instagram, TikTok at Sean the Undeniable. That's SHAWN the Undeniable. Or y'all can find me on Facebook at LaShawn Sanders. Y'all find me on LinkedIn at LaShawn Sanders. I can't wait to talk to you all again. If y'all need more help just finding that purpose, trying to understand how you can turn your career into your foundation to start whatever it is that you're trying to do, please get in touch with me. I promise you we go through this together. We about to become undeniable, y'all. Let's get it.
Hey, my bad. I can say one more thing. I forgot I do Bible study on Thursday now at 8 p.m. So I don't know, you know, people sometimes can't make it, you know, in the morning. I just started it, you know, me and Pate, you know, so if y'all Thursday, again, Instagram live at 8 p.m. too. We doing Bible study then too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Make sure that y'all check them out. Make sure to check out their content. Check out they shows. Make sure to follow us out here on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. Sure to see your friends and family. Make sure to check out my Black Enterprise interview. It's on their website. It's on my post. John Hope Bryant interview. A lot of content, even content with Ross Mack. Make sure to check out those videos. Make sure to share it to your friends and family. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Corey Phillips 3. I have a family wealth night on Black Friday, Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm having a nice online family wealth night. So it's my second iteration of it. So make sure you get your family how to set up y'all putting your money in the clothes and all this other stuff, how y'all can get your money in the market. So make sure to go to my website at CoreyPhillips.org and you'll find a link there to register. So that'll conclude today's call. Hope you all have an amazing week. Let us know how y'all feeling, and then we'll see you all next week.
Well, y'all.
Bye, y'all.